Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. Oh, I forgot to put there we go. We're on the test server, and today we're going to be checking out Pelops the Victor. He's the anniversary fusion for 2026 in Raid Shadow Legends. And yeah, I mean, he's got some pretty big shoes to fill. Arman's was 2 years ago. Fabian was 1 year ago. He's a very different sort of champion. Very, very different. More PvE focused for sure. And we're going to be looking at all of that here today. Of course, worth mentioning as well, he is part of the Argonauts faction. It's going to make it a little bit difficult to test it in like absolute perfection because we're not going to have the accessories that we would want because it is a brand new faction. On the flip side, it also raises his value, right? Because you just simply don't have many champions from this faction yet, and that makes him more useful, kind of like with Cassandra as well. So let's dive in. What's going on with his kit? Well, his A3, this is very, very cool. A 3-turn cooldown when fully booked. Increased attack buff, and a magma shield buff for this whole team. The magma shield equal to 30% of his max HP. What is magma shield? Magma shield is like normal shield, but far better. So number one, with regular shield, and this is particularly important, we're going to see when we come to building a Titus team in Chimera, which is something that is now more achievable for more people, or will be more achievable over, let's say, the next year or so, because they are adding in, obviously, this new fusion system where when you complete fusions, you get a fusion token. And then when there's a classic fusion, I think, or a mixed fusion either. Basically, when you have like not collecting fragments for a legendary, but when you're actually fusing stuff into a legendary, you can replace a fusion with those tokens. I would say that also, by the way, means that Pelops, you probably want to do him, right? With this new fusion system, I think you want to get up to 3 fusion tokens, which is the highest cost to bring back champions like Fabian, Titus, Wixwell, Newt, right? Some of these super high impact fusions. To swap them in for a newer fusion and to do them instead, you're going to need 3 tokens. So I think the plan should be try to get up to 3 tokens as quickly as possible if you need any of the really good fusions. We'll do a whole breakdown on that in another video. So try to stockpile up to 3 so that when a bad fusion comes out and you are prepared with your resources to do it, you can then go, oh, this is my opportunity to grab Fabian or whatever and swap him in. Or this is my opportunity to grab Wixwell for my Titus team and now my Pelops, you could put in that team as well. And I'll show you the testing. But yeah, anyway, back to this. With shields, there are 2 types of shield. One, shields from artifacts, from gear, okay? So this means the shield set, bolster set, blood shield accessories, whatever. Shields from gear. I can't remember which icon is which, I'm sorry. Then the other shield is shield buffs from abilities. This includes passive abilities, but anything that champions are placing themselves in battle from their kits. The third type of shield, by far the best one, is a magma shield. Previously, this was only 2 ways to get this. Number one, the Volcardiac Heart Relic. Gives you magma shield. It's a mythical relic. It is a standard relic, so it's one of the easier ones to get, but it is still a mythical relic, so it's still extremely difficult to get. I only have 1, and I'm getting most of the relics that are available. The other way is, of course, Solinar, the new Void Legendary. He's got it on his passive, so this is super rare. Super rare. This Pelops is the first champion who can give Magma Shield to the entire team, and I wouldn't expect many champions to come with this. Magma Shield is basically the same as a shield, however, it reflects all the damage back. So if he gives everyone on his team a 30k hit point shield, let's say on 4 champions in the arena, and that team each get hit for 50,000 damage, it blocks 30k to each of them, as with a normal shield, but each of them will reflect 30,000 damage back. So potentially 4 champions in arena, 30k shield each, get hit by an AoE attack, they're going to reflect back a total of 120,000 damage, which is enough to kill most damage dealers quite easily, in fact, in arena. So Magma Shield is very good. With Titus in particular, we're going to look at Titus. Titus, his damage scales proportional to the size of his shield. There are 3 types of shield. Gear set, so bring in a shield set into the battle. The champion who can place shields, Wixwell, and Magma Shield. So if you don't have Volcardiac Heart on Titus, you're basically missing out on 1/3 of his potential damage. I'm going to show that to you today. Let's get back to Pelops. But very important to note, Magma Shield is particularly broken with Titus, but it is extremely good in general. Particularly, yeah, because it's going to reflect quite a lot of damage back. Not a massive deal for PvE because, you know, you're still taking like 20, 100k damage, maybe something like that. But you're fighting enemies with millions and millions of health. Much more impactful in like wave content, and particularly in PvP, where the enemy health bars are small and the magma shield damage is therefore proportionately higher. It also gives him a taunt for 2 turns, so enemies are forced to attack him, which is cool. And then it's got a lovely passive, decreases the damage allies receive by 20% while he's not under decreased defense, which is actually really good. His A2, Gorgoa's Bane, 3-turn cooldown, single target attack. This ignores 50% defense if the target's under HP burn. The damage inflicted by this skill increases by 10%, and for every turn remaining on any debuffs on this champion and the target up to 200%. This claps. We'll see. This claps, though. Yeah, this hits extremely hard. If the damage inflicted by the skill is less than 50% of the target's max HP, which is pretty likely in a lot of content, like particularly any PvE content, it will steal all buffs from the target and put a stun on them for 2 turns, and the effects can't be resisted if the target's under HP burn. So yeah, hit really, really, really hard, especially if they're under burn, and lots of debuffs hit extremely hard. And yeah, you could also potentially steal all buffs and stun. So there's 2 ways to go here. You could build him for damage. This is sort of the only thing in his kit that really benefits from building him for damage, but it will give you a huge chunk of damage if you do build for this in particular. But it's pretty consistently, so long as there's burns out there. Even so, if you build him with accuracy, even so, he's got a pretty good chance to just steal all buffs and to place a 2-turn stun, which is very nice for wave content or decent for PvP. His A1, decreased attack, 100% chance, can't be resisted or blocked if the target's under burn, which is nice. And then he's got a very cool passive. He is immune himself to stun, HP burn, and petrification. A little bit unusual. But whenever an enemy attacks him, he's got a 100% chance to place burn on them. The chance goes down to 50% if he's under decreased defense. Whenever an enemy attacks him, he has a 50% chance to petrify them as well. But it goes down to 25% chance if he's under decreased defense. So he's basically burning enemies every single time he's hit. And he's got a 50-50 to petrify. It's pretty unusual to be under decreased defense. It is a bit of a counter to him. But yeah, like I said, it's pretty unusual. So we're not going to worry about that too much. And likewise, what was it? His, I don't know. Yeah, if he has decreased defense, he loses the 20% damage reduction passive. Again, it's pretty unusual to be under decreased defense, and you can bring in champions with block debuffs, remove debuffs, protected block debuffs, whatever. You can stop him from getting decreased defense, I would say, fairly easily. So we're not going to worry about that too much, because let me tell you already, very complicated champion, and there's a ton to cover. Okay, let's go. So the first thing I did, I actually realized now I forgot to speed this up. I forgot to test him with yeah, I'm a freaking idiot. I forgot to test him with HP burn out there, but we can go and test it right now. Actually, I'll set it up for you. But you can see I'm comparing him to Fralny. So we're seeing like Fralny's A1 about 24,000, his A2 is about 60,000, his A3 hitting for about 27,000, hit for 160k. And let me hang on one sec. Here we are. This is going to be our little damage test, right? Fralny's A1, not a particularly impressive single target hit. It's mediocre, 24k. His A2 is a very solid single target nuke, 63k. His A3 is an okay AoE, 28k per champion. A bit, you know, well, just we were looking at the right-hand champ, 169,000 hitting all 5 champs in this. It's Dragon Hard 10. And basically what I did, I can show you the exact gear and we can swap it back over to him. But for only, we went in with no relic, only gave him these 2 masteries, so we wouldn't have Helm Smasher throwing things off or anything else. And so of course I've taken off his gear now, and we went with this piece, this set of gear. He is a 6-star Fralny, but it doesn't matter too much apart from the base stats. Unfortunately, I can't take it off, can't do anything about it. He has Life Harvest, not giving any benefit. But it's with these stats, and basically with Pelops, I did the exact same thing. Took off his relic. Blessing didn't matter, but Pelops has a 5-star blessing on this account. We gave him these masteries exactly, and we tested the exact same thing. Let's see how Pelops damage compared, shall we? So here we go. We're going to jump in with Pelops. Boom. And Pelops, here we go. We're going to flip over his gear. And you can see we're going to give him the exact same gear. Take it off for only. Same stuff. And in fact, if I rewind slightly, in fact, no, never mind. There you go. Oops. You could see the stats there. Where have I gone with the stats? Where have I gone with the stats? Really bugging out on me. There we go. You can see the stats, but basically similar. It's the same gear as Frolny. He's slightly weaker because he's not a mythical. It's A1, about 21,000, and then it's A2, without anything, about 31,000. Not particularly crazy. And I said, okay, let's try it with a bunch of debuffs, and this is where it starts to get very strong. So here we have 8 debuffs, and the way this works, by the way, precisely with this A2. And this is important because you could do some crazy builds with this. It increases for every turn remaining on any debuffs. So you can see here some of these debuffs are 2 turns, some are 3 turns. The extra turns are going to give you more benefit, right? But yeah, you're going to need a good few turns. Here we go. Oh, look at that. 94,000. So that was the damage test. We didn't do it with HP burn. I could actually retest it now. But yeah, you could see his A2. So the A1, the damage is nothing special. It's pretty poor compared to a pretty middle of the road A1, I would say. Frolny's gets better with lots of buffs, but I didn't give him lots of buffs. His A2 is nothing special by default, but when you start giving him debuffs to work with, the damage actually gets extremely high. And let me actually go retest it right now. I'm going to have to redo all of his masteries and whatnot, but that's fine. So let me retest it right now. I'll take everything off of him. Here we go. We'll unequip this relic. We'll unequip all of his accessories. Remove. Manage. Remove. Manage. Remove. And let's swap him into Frolny's gear. Here it is. Moment of truth. Let's go. Damage test. Basically, there's a huge... Oops, sorry. Spoilers. We need an Arbiter just to make sure we go first. And we need someone who... Actually... She go in with burn. Yeah, actually that's fine. I think our base can burn, so I think we're good. Our base actually going to give us some extra. So his damage should be even higher, by the way, because he's going to have an extra couple of debuffs from our base. Our base will come in and she will leech and burn. So now we've got 10 debuffs on this enemy. 10. Here we go. Pelops, let's go 1 time speed. We're ignoring now 50% defense because the enemy is under burn. We're going to be doing way more damage. You've got 10 debuffs. 282,000 damage. That is pretty insane. Let's write that on this. It's insane. With burn and 10 debuffs. Okay, so that is first thing you need to know. I can show you my area bonuses, by the way. For Dragon, I do have an additional 14% ignore defense, which is going to enhance this damage a bit. Right? Like the more ignore defense you stack, the better it's going to be, particularly in this situation where we don't have decreased defense or anything like that out there. So yeah, okay. So straight up, Pelops, number 1, you will definitely be able to do. I don't have any particular examples, but because there's just too much to test here. But can this hit hard? Yes, this can hit incredibly hard. But you really want HP burn, and you're going to want lots of debuffs. It will also do extremely well with a lethal gear set. So get it basic, and with the Helm Smasher Mastery, you'll push it even higher. I mean, let's see. Let's redo that a couple of times, and let's see if we can get Helm Smasher to proc. The reason is, right, 50% ignore defense if they're under burn, 25% more from lethal up to 75. Throw on Helm Smasher, and which is a 50-50 for another 25. We can ignore 100% defense. 100% defense ignored. Obviously area bonuses, a little bit awkward, but yeah, so it's kind of a massive deal. Let's see if we can get, might take a couple of goes. You'll know what's happened because the damage will be way higher. Here he is. Basically 500k. 500k with Helm Smasher. Okay, so there you are. 63k with Frolny. He's done way more. Now, that being said, it's obviously difficult to get, to get 10 debuffs on the target. One of them being HP burn is definitely a little bit awkward. It's not super easy to line it up. And while that is a really big hit, it's not a crazy hit compared to like, you know, Marius pumping out AoE damage, etc. But I think there is quite a bit of room here for two different ways. Number one, you could go all out on damage, and there is the potential for like one-shotting some dungeon bosses or one-shotting particular enemies. It's a massive nuke, so that is cool. Option number two is, I mean, you just build him with crit rate and some crit damage. He's going to be putting out, it basically means if you build him with a little bit of damage, like the ability to crit, you get him like Helm Smasher, etc. He's going to be doing some pretty solid damage anyway, particularly in areas. We can even ditch lethal. We could say, okay, let's go. We won't give him lethal, but I go into Faction Wars. If I get the 20% ignore defense bonus, grand. Okay, 20% ignore defense. I give him Helm Smasher. And he's going to be close to 100% ignore defense half the time. Like, it's good enough, right, to make it work. So, yeah. All right, cool. Let's build out his masteries. So, roughly speaking, I think you would go like, definitely want to get shields. I actually think you want to go like this. A couple of different ways you could go. I actually think you probably go like this. And you could grab him Cycle Magic. It's fine as well. Bit of variety, but yeah, we'll talk about his build and whatnot as we go. Anyway, that's his A2. The damage is crazy. The A1, damage not crazy. Yeah. Okay, so damage test. You get the gist. So that's an interesting way you can go with this champion, first and foremost. He can absolutely do a massive single target nuke. Yeah, and if you could potentially build some one-shot type teams, it's cool. It's cool. Is it drastically better than other comps? No, but it is good. Let's actually throw him in, and let's see how we go. Actually, yeah, okay, we'll steal this off of her. We'll put her back in then after. I'll give him his relic back as well, just so he's got a relic. And let's see, I think I set up an AI for this. Let's see, just a dragon run. So, where'd I put it? Here we go. Dragon run. Great, let's go. Calvalaxes with Narma. Sort of like an endgamey type team. So we poison with Calvalax. Yumiko's fastest. Narma explodes. You know, Narma's pretty good. So, like, here's the thing, right? You know, like, he can one-shot one of them. If you had Burnout as well, Narma can blow up the poisons and kill all of them. Now, here we go. We've got lots of poisons. We get Hex, potentially extend them. I don't know what his preset is. Okay, I set him to do his A3 first. That's fine, I suppose. You see the Calvalaxes are doing some damage. Actually, she is probably... I'm going to just do an A1 because I want to see his A2. Here's his A2. It's not that crazy against the boss. We don't have burn, so we're not ignoring all that defense. We maybe didn't trigger Helm Smasher. But if we see, like, Narma take a turn here, like, she just pops all the poisons and he's dead. So, yeah, like, for example, in this team, is Pelops doing anything in this team? Not really. Like, Narma, the double Calvalax Yumiko could probably do this faster. Otherwise, he's helping them stay alive, but he really doesn't need to be there. So yeah, I do think maybe there are some niche interesting teams. I obviously think you want to do this fusion anyway, but there's definitely some interesting stuff you could do with the A2. It can hit incredibly hard, but it has a huge amount of setup. And I don't think it is that crazy. I think when you see the best case damage scenario, it looks absolutely absurd. But is it that useful actually anywhere? I don't think so. And I think you actually want to lean more in towards his supporting vibe, but I do have to put that possibility out there. There could be some teams where you do use this massive one-shot nuke as a thing. It is certainly possible. And you could give him like a cat's gaze to make it more reliable, etc. Wouldn't be so good in arena on a HB nuker, but still. Yeah, cool. Right, let's go. Let's look at his build. So I think the more generally go-to build is going to be something like this. And did I save it as a preset? Of course I didn't, but I've got it over here. It is awkward because we don't have... let's grab Cassandra. I've got a few fun teams to test with you over here. And... okay, but I won't take the gear off of him. We're going to leave the gear on him as is. We've got a few fun teams to test. So, I think 9-piece protection is going to be your general go-to. What's he doing for your team? He's giving you 2 buffs. Increase attack and magma shield. Turning that into a 5% damage boost. So 2 5% damage boosts for 10% damage total. And also having those buffs be protected, I think is very, very useful. And that makes him, I think, quite strong in arena. You're putting up potentially protected shield, protected taunt. You're protecting your team from 20% of the damage. And that could be pretty good for keeping you alive. That's got some value in arena, and he can be throwing out petrification. It also is going to make him really nice for faction wars and really nice for any clan bosses. Because yeah, as you saw, against a boss like Dragon, you're going to have better damage dealers probably. He's going to do some supplemental damage, but you're more interested, you care a bit more about the utility that he's bringing you. And having his buffs be protected is really good for the really difficult PvE content in the game. Because the most difficult PvE content these days, they are typically removing your buffs pretty often. And he's protecting you from that, helping you stay alive, yada, yada, yada. So there we go. I think 9-piece protection is going to be ideal. Unfortunately, I don't have like any protection accessories for this faction, so we can't do it. And for the build, what I've done is I've gone high speed. It's a very intensive build. We don't have any faction guardians, mind you. We have a 5-star blessing on him. Good speed. Very good speed. You want him definitely faster than your damage dealers. I'm still giving him a crit rate and a bit of crit damage in there. And high accuracy and high HP. You could, I think... I know his A2 can hit really hard. You could absolutely, though, abandon crit rate, crit damage entirely to make it a much easier build and just say, don't care about the damage. I want the buff steal on the stun. I want all his utility. Forget about the damage. And you go, okay, forget about crit rate, forget about crit damage. I just want speed, accuracy, and HP. It's a much easier build, much easier to do, very easy to do with protection. You could even give him some resistance as well. And you'll be laughing, right? And if you do build him with no damage at all, by the way, I would probably ditch Killstreak, give him Methodical. Methodical's kind of shit, doesn't really matter. But give him War Master. If you don't build him with any damage, build him with War Master. I think if you do build him with damage, you're probably going to go for Helm Smasher instead. Okay, cool. Bit of an idea for the builds. Oh, and I should show you the masteries as well. And the blessings. So for masteries, I've gone like this. I think this is going to be your typical hybrid build. Oh, I've built him 100% crit rate, built him with some crit damage. I'm going for Helm Smasher. Again, otherwise War Master. And I basically want him, I think it's quite important, you want him to have Shield Bearer and more shields. I think giving him Turn Meter when buffs and debuffs expire, he's putting out quite a few. That's quite nice. Shield Stronger is good. You could give him Cycle of Magic. I think it's fine as well. Lore of Steel, but you wanted him to have longer debuffs, make his burns longer. He can't extend Petrification, but make his burns longer. Nice. And longer buffs as well, make his increased attack and magma shield last longer is really nice. So those two things are good. Could give him Sniper, higher chance for but it doesn't apply to petrification, so never mind. You wouldn't give him Sniper. I think this is basically the build you go for. You could grab him Swarm Smiter instead if you wanted a bit more accuracy, if you're struggling with that. But yeah, I think he'd really benefits from 5-star blessing actually, because you want the accuracy so you can land his burns at least. And the crit damage is good. The defensive stats are good. Yeah, it's really nice. One note, obviously, his A2, it is irresistible if the enemy is burn, and his A1, same thing. So if you're running him with a champion with burn, you could potentially ditch accuracy. You need accuracy to place the petrification. But you could, if you're not using that, and if you're not using him to burn, a bit weird, but you could give up on the passive and just bring another burn champion and then ditch accuracy. And you could then maybe focus more on damage instead. Again, several build paths. I think the hybrid is going to be the most generally useful, most likely. For blessings, Brimstone, I think, is generally going to be the go-to because he's going to be a high accuracy damaged, high accuracy hybrid. I think it makes sense. He's going to be fast. He's going to have high accuracy. He's a good champion to bring Brimstone. He's more PvE focused. There's other stuff. If you're building in pure damage, you could try Nature's Wrath. You could try Heaven Cast if you're looking for that upfront burst. You're not going to be landing any debuffs to stack up Nature's Wrath in a longer fight. Heaven Cast is weaker, but it works immediately. If you're building lots of buffs on him, that could work. If you've got him 6-star, you could go Crushing Rend, but I mean, you should already be ignoring enough defense anyway, so I don't think you actually need the 6-star Crushing Rend all that much. For PvP, you could give him Polymorph. It's not quite as strong as it used to be, but it's still good. Incinerate is kind of interesting. He puts out lots of burns. Kind of fun. Lightning Cage, I think, is the most obvious one for PvP. Protecting his buffs. Quite good, right? Protect the Magma Shield. Protect his Taunt. Makes a pretty big impact. If you give him Stone Skin, it's going to protect the Stone Skin. It's going to be pretty good stuff. Um, Yep, I know that you could give him temporal chains is always good. There's lots of different things you could do. Cruelty is okay for him for bosses, not insane. It's okay. He doesn't have AoE hits, so it's not quite so good for waves. But yeah, that's him. For relics, Wand of Submission is like a safe PvP option. I've given that to him just to be a little bit boring, but safe. What other options do we have in here that you would definitely be looking for? If you're going pure damage, you could give him a damage relic, Cat's Gaze. If you're going pure damage, give him the consistent ignore defense. That is good. You could just give him a crit damage stat stick, something like an Essence Quencher. That's good. You could give him Perch Shadow, some extra turns. Actually really nice for PvE content. Just cycle through turns. It's good. You could give Eternal Soul Jail, anything to be tanky, survivable. Skull of Treason, kind of good for arena, I suppose. Quite a few options. I think you're going to be looking for stuff with HP, speed, or accuracy, or some crit stats in there as well. It'll be kind of decent. I think Hoarder's Cauldron's not bad if you need accuracy at the start. Going to help you. That's a good budget one at the start. Thunderbolt Spear be a good damage relic a few of you might have picked up in this current event. The old Malefic Talon would be a good budget option as well. Just some crit damage. Good damage option. So, depends on the build. Yeah, it depends on the build and where you are going to use him. So there we are. Right. I want to show you, let's show you some Titus teams, and then we'll see some more general gameplay. So, Titus teams. So this is my current Titus team. And let me bring up the footage. All right, so this is my current Titus team here that I actually use. Is it min-max? Is it perfect? No, not really, but it works. Let's see a Titus A2 here in a second. We're on double time speed, so we're blitzing through pretty quick. He should fire it off any second. Bam, 29 million damage right there. I ran 35 turns. We did 500 million damage. And we'll see the end of it here as soon as it flips over. Great, end battle. And we can see the damage screen. There we go. Now, I switched over to this team. It's a bit inaccessible because of Androck. Two versions here. What I actually ran here because I'm lazy is this. I think this is what I'll actually end up building. So the concept of how this works is pretty simple. The way it works is Titus's A2 does ludicrous damage with really big shields. We've got Wixwell, who provides a shield. I've got a shield set actually on Androck, has the shield set right now. So this is part of why I'm being lazy. So we've got one shield from Androck, the champion gear shield from Androck, champion shield from Wixwell, that you can give anybody in this team the shield set. It doesn't matter. We got the two shields. Great. And then Wixwell is extending the shields and growing the shields. And the bigger the shield is, the harder Titus hits, which is how he's hitting for such ludicrous damage. Lydia is bringing in decreased defense weaken as well as increased speed. Now, Androck is doing a key thing here for me. Number one, he's also extending our buffs, which is really important. But he's bringing us increased resistance, turn meter boosts, and lots of bonus resistance. So you need to resist the Chimera. The Chimera can remove buffs. You need to resist it, because otherwise the shield gets removed from Titus and you're in trouble. The better version of this team would be this. So it's the same team, but the fun thing here, we actually, in this situation, I think you probably bring in Pelops Aura. And it's something that he brings which is very useful here. I didn't mention his Aura yet. 60 resistance in all battles. You're going to combine this with Owella, who is also a former fusion. So in this team, we've got fusion, fusion, fusion. Titus is a fusion, and Lydia is a guaranteed champion from Faction Wars. So anyone could build this team given enough time. Owella, what does she do? Instead of Androck, she gives us increased resistance and turn meter. She extends our buffs, but she brings in decreased speed. That's the weakness of this version of the team. By switching out Krisk and bringing in Pelops, we have lost decreased speed. In fact, we've lost a couple of things. So let me break this down for you. So first of all, Chimera. How much resistance do you need? For Ultra Nightmare, you're trying to build enough resistance. With my Androck team, Androck gives you so much resist from his passive. You need to build 0 resistance. You just resist everything. He's a mythical. He's insane. If you don't have Androck, you're going to need to build resistance. The highest accuracy that Chimera has is 500 accuracy in the Ram form. So we're going to want, basically, you're going to want, take that accuracy, the 500 accuracy, you're going to want 100 resistance more. So that would be 600 resistance. gives you about a 90% chance to resist. Going up to 150 extra resistance, so that would be 650. It's going to give you closer to the 95, 97%. I don't know exactly how much it is, but you do want to go. You want to have more than 600. You want to be closer to 650 plus to give you the best chance possible to resist, so you got the fewest restarts. What you're going to do, you basically take your whatever base resistance you have, you're adding on 60 from the aura, then the increased resistance buff is giving you 1.5. Long story short, you're going to want 340 resistance minimum, or 375 or more. Slightly more than that be recommended, ideal. They're not that difficult to build. I'm lazy. I could rebuild everybody, but it'd be a bit of work here. Like, Pelops actually has about enough, but that's with the 5-star blessing. And obviously kind of bad accessories, but extremely good regular gear. But Oella is well short. Wixwell's a bit short. Lydia's well short. Titus has enough, actually, for me. But I'm like, I could rebuild it for this team. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to have to do it on the live game. I'm not arse doing it on the test server as well. I'll deal with it when it comes to live. Let me show you the footage, though, so you get a gist for it. But that breaks it down. And while the footage is going over here, so by losing Krisk, this was a bit awkward. We lose increased buff duration. I had to drop Titus's speed a little bit so that this kept working. I lost decreased speed. Again, we'd have to bring it at Oella instead of Androck. And Krisk had 9-piece protection. He's not giving us a ton of buffs, but he's giving us some. But as you saw right there, we just hit the Chimera for 39 million. Let's see again. So we were hitting about 30 million. We hit 30 million with the previous team. With this team, the big difference with Pelops, the Magma Shield, is an extra shield, 44 million. We're basically getting a third extra damage, right? We've gone from about 30 million to about 45, right? We've got a really big damage increase here. Why? Because the Magma Shield is an extra shield, and that's effective 40 million right there. It's effectively giving us a big damage boost. As you can see, this run is going to end, though, and we're slightly short on damage. Why are we slightly short on damage? Again, it's the reasons I explained, and it's pretty straightforward. This is lower damage, but this is going to be a better team. Bringing Pelops in is really good if you don't have full cardiac heart. Again, the problem here, I had to lower Titus speed a bit. Not a big deal, but the bigger deal was losing decreased speed and losing 9-piece protection. If we had 9-piece protection, we basically would have 10% more damage. 10% more damage here alone from Pelops would bring us basically up to where we were. And then if we swapped Androck for the Oella, have to regear a little bit. But again, it would, with a decreased speed, we'd be taking more turns. I think we'd be way up on damage. So this is, for me, actually an upgrade. I think it's not as good if you have Volcardiac Heart Relic, okay? The Volcardiac Heart Relic, if you can get Magma Shield from this, it's better. You don't need to bring Pelops then. He has a couple of advantages in general. You don't necessarily need him. So what is Pelops actually bringing that matters? Magma Shield's the big one. Increase attack is good. If you're using an attack-based damage dealer, that's great. For the Titus team, it's not important. He brings 2 buffs at 9-piece protection, so that's 10% damage boost, which is nice. He brings HP burn. He can steal buffs, which is very helpful if the Viper steals buffs off you. Ultimate form can give himself increased speed. The buff steal is nice. He can do some damage. And also, it's a good chance you get a 5-star soul for him from an event. So he's a good champion to bring Brimstone as well. So he's bringing you quite a lot of stuff. And this is stuff that I think that matters. He's bringing you that. Oh, I forgot, of course, to say, let's make it bigger. Of course, he brings decreased attack as well. And damage reduction, of course. I forgot to write those in. But decrease attack. 20% less damage taken, 14. That's a lot of nice stuff. Does the Titus team need it? Mostly no, but the Magma Shield is huge. Now, if you have Donatello, I think Donatello is worth pointing out because he is a recent fusion as well. I think he's better. So he's bringing you continuous heal strength then and turn meter boost. He's bringing you increased speed, but he also decreases your skill cooldown. So if you give him a Magma Shield, he can decrease your skill cooldown. He can reset Titus. He can reset Wixwell. He can make it quite a bit easier. So I think Donatello could potentially be better because of the skill resets. He brings multiple buffs, but Lydia also brings strengthen and increased speed. So you might have a bit of a clash there. But yeah, I think if you have Volcardiac Heart, for Titus teams in particular, if you have the Volcardiac Heart Relic, Pelops, A lot of his, a huge amount of the value is from this. Huge amount is from this. So, if you have Volcardiac Heart for your Titus team, Pelops not so important. However, if, like me, you do not have a Volcardiac Heart for your Titus team, this is basically a 50% damage boost for your Titus. That's a lot. And at that point, it's definitely worth looking to bring in Pelops. And I've suggested a team. Like I said, I'll probably build this team myself on the live game and perfect it. But you sort of get the gist, right? You're going to want about 360, 370 resistance on all of these champs if you can. You're going to want like 300 speed on the supports. Probably about 200, 220-ish speed on Titus. Merciless on Titus. Give Titus as much damage as he can. And pretty straightforward other than that. Now, Pelops will open up a few trials as well. So number one, he brings HP burn very consistently. So he's very helpful for doing this normal trial here. And if you give him Brimstone, between this Brimstone and his burn, he should actually be very good at doing this. Over here, nothing too much helpful there. He could potentially hit really hard, maybe, and do those. I don't know. It's possible. One thing he's very good for is over for the Lion form. Absorb damage with shield. Well, he puts out the magma shield. It's an extra shield, so he's very solid for that. And he will be very solid for damaging the Chimera with reflect damage effects. Magma shield should help with this. Now, it's quite difficult to get here, decreased resistance and 10 debuffs. But for example, this week, Pelops would be very nice for this, right? He's giving you so much reflect damage with that magma shield. Pretty good. So that's a solid option for helping you to get through that for sure as well. Again, over here in this Viper form, you can see this week, HP burn. I need HP burn out there. I've got block active skills from Titus, block buffs from Lydia. By bringing Pelops in the team, I complete another trial because I've got the HP burn, which is nice. And yeah, he brings increased attack for some trials as well, which is helpful. But yeah, so he's got a bit of a spot there. Now, let's look at a more normal team as well. Like I said, there's been a ton to cover in this video, so thanks for bearing with me, etc. I think we've got some gear back on these. We're trying a fun team here. Cassandra, Palace, and the buffed Bamba. So we got a lot of stuff going on. What's going on? Actually, let's walk through it. What's going on with this team? Buffed Bambas. Going to be giving us a few, but increased accuracy is going to make the accuracy requirements easy, because otherwise it's very difficult, particularly because we don't have faction guardians for this faction. He also brings decreased accuracy and decreased attack. The decreased attack overlaps with Pelops, but it's fine. He's going to give us a shield and extend our buffs, which is really, really nice. The shield obviously stacks with Pelops' shield, so we're going to have tons of shielding in theory, and he's going to extend Pelops' buffs, and importantly, extend Cassandra's buffs to make her more consistent. And he's a decreased speed A1, so that's giving us decreased speed for the boss. So we've got increased speed, decreased defense weakened from Lydia, block buffs from Lydia, block active skills for the Viper, Fear for the Ram form. She's amazing, excuse me. Pelops, obviously, he's going to be giving us increased attack. Now, we've got it already, but it's okay. He's giving us damage reduction. The magma shield is great. He's giving us decreased attack. He's giving us some burns. He's okay in here. To be honest, he's probably the least important. And you probably would want to take him out, but we'll cover, well, Palace is part of why. She has a Mikage-style A1, except it's for Argonites. Palace is single-handedly going to make Cassandra kind of a monster. Block debuffs and Fervor with debuff removal. Team Revive. Shielding. Turn meter boosting on her passive. She is cracked. Cracked. And then we've got Cassandra. Self buffs are going to extend those with Bambus. Decrease defense and burn. And then she's got a very powerful A1. So yeah, we're just going to give this a quick test. I actually think in this particular team, this should be a very strong team. But basically the core of Lydia, Palace, Cassandra is stupidly good. If you get Palace, it is stupidly good. The reason being, like, Palace, when she does an A1, is going to bring in potentially Cassandra here, and Cassandra's going to do, hopefully, some pretty good damage. So yeah, it's pretty sick. I think that poor old Pelops doesn't quite fit this team, but it's just to showcase some of his survivability, some of the shielding he can do in this particular squad and what sort of happens there, and see some of his damage as well. He's going to be doing a little bit of damage. We're going to be reflecting some damage as well. Hopefully it'll be good. But yeah, here goes Cassandra. A1 is all right. Unfortunately, I don't have Merciless because it's a new faction, so I don't have enough Merciless for it yet. But yeah, we're seeing again, we're getting some extra attacks. I think she brought in Pelops there. So yeah, like, with Palace, you it's like Mikage and Ninja. You don't want to bring any other Shadowkin. With this, you want to run Palace with, at the moment, Cassandra, and you don't want to bring in any other Argonauts, so Cassandra can do as many A1s as is humanly possible. And perhaps we wouldn't want any shielding actually with this team, so that Cassandra could sometimes drop below 50% HP, save herself with her A3 passive, and get a 6-hitter A1 instead. But yeah, I just want to showcase Cassandra. Actually, I was really harsh on her when she came out, and I think it was fairly deserved. But Palace is so ludicrously, stupidly good. And Lydia, like, compare her to Elva Autumnborn. She's bringing you AoE Revive, which is much better. Basically everything. You lose the increased speed, but you gain basically Mikage ally attack. It's insane. Like, if she's doing A2, A1, A1, each of those A1s is basically like, it's an ally attack potentially from Cassandra. It's potentially a huge amount of damage. So yeah, but you get a bit of a gist, right, for this team. Pelops, he's helping you stay alive. I think he's better for sure in a Titus team, but he will be a good support that will do some damage. He will help you stay alive a bit against this boss, for sure. Like, he's going to be useful. And especially with protection set, with his buffs being protected, having a protected magma shield is going to be very helpful. It's going to be very useful. And like you can see, he's hitting for 400k right there. He's hitting for almost as much as Cassandra. Like, the dude is clapping. He's doing loads of damage. He's not in lethal. He's in, I think, right, he's in his protection gear. He is just hitting very hard, bringing Brimstone. He's doing a decent job. Obviously, again, the Palace combo is terrible. His A1's hitting for 60k. We'd far rather have Cassandra. But what can we do? Yeah, cool. So Cassandra should be quite good here. I do want to see this because it should be interesting. Palace removing all the debuffs. Cassandra, once this True Fear runs out, Cassandra should start really beating herself up quite a bit. Decrease defense and weaken. Once the True Fear is gone, we should start taking a lot of damage. Pelops actually might get himself killed. One thing I don't know, if we take damage, you can see some damage taken from the Magma Shield. It's not a huge amount, but it's something. Cassandra taking a good chunk. He's nuked it, but he didn't really take much damage. Don't True Fear. Okay, we True Feared. Lydia too strong. What can we do? So, we want to see basically Cassandra buff up while she's got her buffs, and hopefully Bambus will extend them, and she can nuke this and go really low on life, and Palace can do some ally attacks. That's sort of the dream, the goal. What we'll do is, oh, she's done A1. No, we're fine. Bambus being targeted, but he's fine. Debuffs removed. Palace, he's buffing up. Cassandra, okay, perfect. Nuke. He resisted, unfortunately, slightly. That's all right. We'll do the A3. See, like, Palace A1, great. Cassandra should be unkillable, so she should hit quite hard. Some of the... Oh, she's the wrong affinity. That's annoying. He can nuke. The shield's absorbing it. It seems the Magma Shield does not reflect the damage in this situation, which sucks a bit. She can go in A1. Grand. At this point, actually, we do want to place the True Fear back on. Ah, it's been removed. Let's see. This actually might kill Cassandra, which is good. Oh, one annoying thing with Palace, she heals in the A1. So Cassandra was close to 50%, and then she healed her loads. Sad. Oh, well. What can we do? Cassandra just won't die. She's weak hitting too much. Tragic. But yeah, look, you get the gist. They're going to be a strong little team. Well, let's finish off this. I mean, we can just end it here. Let's see. How does Cassandra compare to Pelops? I get confused as well. Pelops, Pelopi. I mean, he's actually done really good. She did 6 million. He's done 3 million. It's nice, right? Again, I don't think he fits all that well with the Cassandra Palace combo, but I wanted to show this to you because it's a bunch of new champs. It's quite fun. But he is a good Chimera champion. Like, he's a good champion to bring Brimstone if you get a 5-star blessing for him. He's actually hitting pretty hard without building for damage. He's giving you lots of survivability, great utility. I am solidly impressed by him. I think he could be quite a nice asset to a lot of people in there. Right, we want to test him in Arena a bit. And again, you can give him something better than Wand of Submission as well. Like I said, you could give him a Cat's Gaze and help him hit harder. You can give him stuff to make him do more damage, right? You absolutely could. For Arena, let's give him Incinerate. Let's see how this will work. And let's try him out in Arena. I think we'll try the same build. Can he do damage in Arena? We can try him in a couple of different builds. We can try him with Stone Skin. We can try him without. Let's go. This is the team I've put together. So we've got Elva. Not Pallas, because I don't have accessories for Pallas, but which would have been lovely, but oh well. We've got Elva in 9-piece Mercurial. She's going to give us block debuffs, increased speed, cleansing, bit of a revive. Eilil for damage because he's fun. Fabian because it's Fabian. And yeah, we're going to get the increased attack from Pelops. Is he going to be insane for Arena? Probably not. Oh, we're going to die to this. Okay, well, she can actually remove the debuffs, which is good. And he's actually snuck in, and that's great. Let's see if we can delete him through Stone Skin. Lovely. Let's actually do this. 51k. Default a... Yeah, I mean, it's not the best, not the worst. Don't know if he's got gear on these champions. They're pretty slow and all the rest. And we can then nuke him and we should win. Grand. One thing, Eilil gets turn meter when we buff him, so it should be quite a nice combo. Let's try it over here. You can manual through some of these fights. You could use any damage dealer. You could use any sort of reviver. I think Elva should be good, right? Because Pelops gets weaker if we get decreased defense. I don't know if it really matters, but here, let's buff up. Again, it's a lovely shield. We could just nuke him through Stone Skin, which is great. Let's remove his MacGuffin. They're forced... Oh, look at that. Petrification and a burn. Not bad. We'll wake her up, I guess. Let's see. So he's petrified, which is damage reduction. How hard is he going to hit? 47k. Okay. I mean, you get a huge damage reduction with petrification. Oh. If we had 9-piece protection, a bit more damage, we might have actually killed him. So, yeah, he's like, if you do land a burn on anybody, and he's got a 100% chance to burn, he absolutely will kill people. His A1, as you can see, is not doing any damage at all. Oh, look, we're all sheep here. Mercurial, it's good. Who knew? Let's buff up because we can. No petrification there. It's only a 50-50, the petrification. Extremely strong when it happens. Not strong when it doesn't happen. Thank you for watching. Remember to like the video if I'm blowing your mind with this incredible information. Oh, no. We'll just hit him for... Actually, I should have hit him. We could do some actual damage. Oh, well. No petrifications. His debuffs are removed. We've reflected a stun. That's Wand of Submission. Yeah, because I think you're not going to build him in Mercurial, probably. Yeah, petrified, so we're not doing too much damage. Give us a turn. Give me a turn, please. Push his turn meter back, I guess. Kill the horse. Steal his buffs. So this will... If we don't do much damage, it will steal buffs. We might as well force them to attack him. She's not petrified. I think it's blocked. He got petrified. Great. Yeah, kind of interesting, huh? No petrification. I don't think you can petrify them if they've got block debuffs. That's what I'm trying to see. Nuke them. Yeah, you also obviously can't burn them, which is a bummer. Sure, we'll try petrify her. She's resisted. She only has a single target revive if she has a revive at all. And she's dead. Very dead. Okay, cool. We'll do a couple more fights just to see. It's just a sample team. Pelops, for Arena, I think his main value is that 50-50 petrify. That's what's cool. And the Magma Shield as well. We'll see if we can make the Magma Shield happen. I mean, he's got 2 mythicals. Actually, got 3 mythicals, excuse me. So we've got a good chance that he will nuke us, right? So we put up the Magma Shield. Let's see what happens. I will... You know what? Let's just turbo boost Siegfried. Trigger his passive, give him a turn. Or not. Or don't give him a turn. Okay, just A1. Hit me. Hit me with my Magma Shield. Okay, here we go. And look at that. Like, he's almost killed himself. And both of them are petrified. That is really cool. That's genuinely really awesome. So, like, I've seen a lot of people saying this champion is bad for PvP. I think he's niche. I don't think he's bad. Yeah. We could steal her buffs. Let's see that. So we hit her, stole her buffs, stunned her for 2 turns. Like, I think plain and simple, this is not a bad champion for PvP. Not a bad champion. This is gonna hurt, actually. Is he top tier? No. But is he bad? Also, no. Kill him. He's back. Let's decrease attack, seek friend. Didn't work. Might killed him, but we just revive him. She's still stunned. She's been stunned for 2 turns. It's a great little move. It's just A1. We can lock her out next turn. Give us increased attack. Give us a big shield. Kill the Siphi. Like, his A3 is great. His passive is great. Let's try a really nasty team. We're probably just going to get wrecked. That's fine. But yeah, this has been a crazy long showcase. There's been tons to show, and I haven't even shown everything. Okay, I think we just die. Oh god, I think we just die. He's so fast. That's 9 Mercurial. He is so fast. What the hell, man? Holy shit. I don't know. Is there even a point in removing this stuff? Oh, she didn't have 9 Mercurial. Oh, we can't steal his thing. That's sad, isn't it? We could maybe steal his buffs. Yeah, steal his buffs. Oh, he had block buffs. That's even more sad. I don't know. What can we do? Just click auto. Just click auto. Oh, we're so dead. The 20% damage reduction not saving us there. Not saving us there. Let's try cruising. Ooh, nasty. Yeah, guys, let me know, what are your thoughts on Pelops? The main question for this video is he worth getting? And my answer is yes. He's definitely worth getting. He's a really interesting champion. I think he's super cool. I think he's well worth it. He is very interesting, and I think he could be an asset to many accounts. Oh, I should have done his A2 there on Nice. I wanted to see how hard he would hit the Nice. That's my bad. We could have potentially stunned the Nice. Nice being a real pain, but I don't know if Cruisen's got gear on these champs. Maybe not, because he's not doing too much to us. Nice could still win the game. Let's see if his Nice does an A3 when he metamorphs. If he does an A2, we're in some trouble. Okay, let's see this. This is a good test. See if we can petrify him. Okay, good. All right, we're fine. Pelops he's waiting. Let's just A1 here. Got Chainbreaker yeah, he's got whatever. He's got Chainbreaker, of course, and Zibia's Servitude. Nasty. Do we kill him? No, he's too strong. Unfortunately, we're not going to have his A3 for when he does the A2, but we could A1. He's killed him. He resisted. Fine. Cool. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if he actually has gear on. Probably not. The player power is not super high for what I would expect from him. But yeah, long story short, Pelops. Is he good? Yes. Absolutely really good. My inclination would be 9-piece protection and brimstone. I think it's going to be the most generally useful. I think he's actually quite nifty in arena for a lot of people. He could be kind of useful. He doesn't look like endgame best in slot, but I think he's quite nifty. He's very usable in arena. I think he's extremely strong for Chimera. I think he could have a lot of spots. Like, he's got potential to do a big nuker build. I like him as a hybrid support. Like, build him like this, sort, but 9-piece protection, but like high speed, enough accuracy to do the job, and then as much HP and damage stats as you can. You can obviously sacrifice the damage and focus pure support if you want, but he can, as you saw, he can do some really solid damage. Good champion for the brimstone. Yeah, I like him, and I probably won't use him in PvP myself, though he is decent, but Wanda's a safe bet. I don't know. Lots of budget options. But yeah, that's Pelops. Let me know your thoughts. I think this is definitely I think you don't really want to skip fusions anyway because of the new fusion token system, but I think he's definitely a fusion who is worth doing. I think he's pretty spicy. Yeah, I think he's pretty cool. That's my take on Pelops the Victor. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.